When you don't know about blue.
Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to WhatsMap, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very, very welcome. We got this. You should check out the map Overcharge Eggs using. Definitely one to look for. I'll try to remember to check that up. Anyway, hi. So we're looking at the top performing map of the moment, and that's how it works now. We look at one that's a top performing map and then one that's voted for by the BonBon buddies over on Patreon. That's the schedule. How's everybody anyway? I'm not doing too bad. I've got myself a nice hot cup of coffee, which apparently is a little bit too hot. I've literally just taken the roof of my mouth off a few seconds ago. So if I sound a bit like this, it's only because I'm in pain. I'm in so much pain. No, not really. Anyway, so well, I am a little bit of pain, but I should be all right, I think. So, anybody been catching up with the new series, the Cities Skylines 2 o'clock? It's going really well. It goes out on a Saturday. It's all the news, latest updates, chat, banter, all that sort of stuff. We had This Old Gamer on this weekend, for second week in a row, and I've just been chatting with a new guest who has agreed, and they are available for this week. So we'll have a new voice on this weekend show as well. One of my favourite YouTubers. So yeah, new, young and upcoming. I don't know if they're young, but they're upcoming, and they're very good. They're very, very, very good. So anyway, that's to come. That's to come this weekend. Right. So anyway, enough waffle. Let's crack on and have a look at the map. Just make sure I have the correct page up. I do, which should. Hello. There we go. That took a moment. I was a bit worried about that for a moment. Yes, Naha, Okinawa, Japan map by Palms Time. Top performing map of the moment, which basically means people like it. That's the whole thing with these. Let's have a little look at some of these screenshots. We won't spend too long flicking over the screenshots, but if you've seen Palms Time's work, then you'll know that they've just got a good eye for a good buildable map. It's not stupidly overly detailed usually, and I think we can expect to have a pretty nice, easy, comfortable ride on today's show. Okay, let's scroll down. There's a requirement list here. There's no one-click collection, sadly. I'd like it there to be on, when you get to this sort of length, I'd like there to be. But let's have a little read. All right, please read this before subscribing. Oh, oops, no, I have read it. Here's a map made especially for Naha, my brand new Cities Skylines project. This semi-modded map, which means some of the workshop items are included in this map. Some of the, yeah, it's not a heavy map, is it? No. Japanese themed city, so maybe I should set traffic to left-hand drive, but I forgot as always. And then, I mean, blend. It's sort of like based on but fictional, yeah. All the visual settings can be found in the screenshot section of the new theme mix, which we will talk about not at stupid length, but in a little detail in a moment, because it had me scratch my head slightly, just slightly. Subscribe to all the required items from the right-hand side of the workshop page. That's these. Oh, if anybody wants now to do a one-click collection, I do have a tutorial for that on my channel. Head off over to tutorials or just search the channel for one-click or collections tutorial, I think it's called. Anyway. And then go to the theme mix workshop page for more details, which we will do in a moment as well. The map theme is the Atlantic theme by Punk 7. The LUT is Real Neutral LUT by Creative Decks. And in case we didn't know already, all the visual settings can be found in my theme mix. If you have any problems or questions about the map, let them know. Why would you not? So, okay, what have we got? This is the theme mix page. Right. I'm a little confused, just a little bit. It's a theme mix. Now they're linked in Theme Mixer 2.5. I'm still on Theme Mixer 2, so maybe that's why I'm confused. But I'm not seeing. I mean, it's maybe more efficient, maybe better coded or whatever. Maybe it's got a few extra bits in it. I don't know. But there are some things in this required list here. Again, would like a one-click collection, but never mind. For example, we have AD Cloud Replacer and HDRI Haven Cube Map Pack and AD Clouds Pack, and I don't know if you really need all of those. Hang on, yeah, you don't need this if you're not using Cube Map Replacer, so that confused me slightly. And then in terms of Clouds and Fog Toggler, Daylight Classic, all of these have been superseded by, and to a degree, Relight, although I still have Relight for the LUTs, by Render It. Which you go, well, they've included Render It, so there's a bit of a double. Again, this is just me being confused. I'm happy to learn from you guys. If you know something I don't, please tell me. I'm not saying I'm the oracle here, but there are things in here where I'm questioning the need for Clouds and Fog Toggler when you have Render It and so forth. Anyway, all the visual settings can be found in the screen section. We've read all that. And then you've got your settings at the top here. This page here is the... I'm going to have to open it, aren't I? So that's your Daylight Classic settings. So, but we're not using that. Then we have... that's your Clouds and Fog Toggler, which we've switched all the fog and cloud off so we can see the map. Otherwise, you should basically make it so your city looks beautiful with clouds and fog. Then you've got cube map settings. Cape Hill is the clouds they're using. I don't know if I'm going to switch. I might switch. Let me know in the chat if I should switch. Live chat, let me know if I should switch to Cape Hill or whether you don't think it matters so much. Then we have the cloud layers. So does one overlay the other? I'm very confused. I'm very, very confused. I maybe need to spend some more time, if I had the time, looking at these new mods. So yeah, maybe I'm supposed to have one and the other. But I thought one was replacing the other. So it was explained to me anyway. Relight settings, yeah, we probably should go in. I don't know. Anyway, we do have a Render It import, which I have already done. There's a little bit of confusion down here amongst a few of the commenters. So this is used instead of Relight and Ultimate Eye Candy. So there's a little confusion. I'm not the only person in the world who's a little bit confused. But long story short, Naha, Okinawa, Japan. It's 4-star rated already, so that's a pretty solid start. So that's all good. Right, I suppose we can switch back to the game now. And oh, I've still got the "You're very, very welcome" popping up. Let me get rid of that. Right. So, hi Maverick. Oh, hang on, we'll say we go here. Hi, Four Eyes plays Football Manager. I've not played Football Manager for years. I wish I had the time. I really do. I want the new Cities Skylines 2 for. Yeah, it's looking good. Well, is it? What have we seen? What have we seen? I don't know. It's gonna be good. It can't not be good, is what we're saying. Maverick, I think it can be said it's about preference. Maybe people still use the old mads, besides being a newer version. And yes, indeed, it's all about preference. Thanks for that. It's not me being a complete schmuck. So, Naha by Palms Time. Is this a builder's map? I mean, it's a builder's map. It's not jumping out at me as being a beautiful detailer's map, a technical map, a fantasy map. It's, if anything, and I don't mean this derogatory in any way, shape or form, because until you get down and have a look at the map, you can't really judge. I mean, we're just judging this on a direction. You should never see the map. Siren to the BonBonBingo players. Anyway, yeah, so we're looking at it from a weird angle. For example, the river system doesn't look realistic. The port area, I'm guessing this is a port area, that seems off center. It looks like this is, judging by, again, is it, how much of this area is playable? I have questions, which is why we're here. And we have this island as well. It looks a bit like the bat symbol, doesn't it? Calling Batman. Anyway, yeah, traffic flow shouldn't be too bad if you're building mainly on this island. You can bypass most of the island through the highway systems, so that could be fun. I guess we have a look at the... There we go. Boom, boom, boom. Right, let's start off with the terrain heights. So, yeah, I was right. There's a bit of a hill going. Doesn't look completely unbuildable from this angle. So there is that. Resources. Ah, yes, they've gone to town. Good. Good. I like it when somebody actually makes... Again, this doesn't look like a vanilla base game style player. There's plenty of resources, but you can't really structure an ore industry or a fertile industry, that kind of thing on the map. There are some patches of large extended fertile and like ore, but it's more about field painting. It's more about the aesthetics. Okay, then we'll have a look at the transport links. No, we don't. We do fishing next, don't we? There we go. Sunset Harbour. We've got Sunset Harbour. We want to do some fishing. Fishing map will look like that. That's all right. Got a little bit of a mix going on there. Then shipping links. We have a loop-de-loop at the top. Never a big fan of the loop-de-loops. They don't really serve any purpose, personally, for me. I prefer a tree. Why not one down here and maybe one split over this way, if you're going to do that, I think. With that, if anything, you're encouraging ships to come loop around and drive back. Sail back out. You've got another shipping route that comes through and up and into the harbour. And leaves us questioning, is that bridge high enough? We will have a check of that in a minute. And then if you want flowing water in the start square, well, this is where the start square, well, this is where the map loads up, but there isn't a start square. It looks like this is a converted save game rather than an actual map from the editor. So there isn't actually a start square, but if you want to play it as if it is a start square, it's a little bit light in water flow, but there's obviously multiple locations that you can place and you'll be fine, I think. Let me pull that back and switch back into free cam. And let me have a quick look at the chat. What's going on in the chat? Hi, Alex. You. Me. You. Sorry. Okay. So, on the assumption that this is supposedly the start square area, and as start square areas go, it's not a bad one. Okay. I think we'll start up at the top, follow the coast, take the bridge, and then come this way. I think that's the most interesting potential route. Whether it's the most interesting route, we are about to find out. So, okay, let's have a little look what Palm's Time has got for us here. So yeah, I'm really excited about this week's Cities Skylines 2 o'clock. So his new show goes. It's obviously got a few teething problems. It's anything, even a show like this that's been going for over 1,500 episodes, over 1,600 episodes, will be teething problems as you try and keep it fresh and updated. But there are a few, especially episode 1, where when I was speaking with This Old Gamer, we did that via Discord, and there was a little bit of echo on his mic. And so this week's episode we recorded, I spoke with him via Facebook Messenger, and we had crystal clear. It was just so much better. So I think we'll be rolling with Facebook Messenger from now on. I thought we had some intersection marking tool. Maybe not. Okay. Anyway, first intersection, very slick, very sleek. No problems really with that at all. Very nicely worked wishbone there. Then we have a long bridge crossing over the island. Sort of thing that you'd only really see in Japan. So if I have a look at this, let's say I was building a bridge from scratch. Imagine I imagine this is probably very heavily urban. So we've probably got skyscrapers. So there's only place you can build a bridge would be across the river. But if there's not, you would build across the narrowest point here and head on that way, rather than surely having a sweeping. This doesn't even come down to ground over here. It seems an interesting area. I mean, I like it. Don't get me wrong. I like it. I think it follows, rather than going down the middle of the river, it goes across this really shallow estuary part. I think that is, I mean, it's good design. It may be based on a real life thing as well, because like I say, we have real life inspiration. But I don't know. I don't know if I was building this map from scratch, and I didn't. It's not my map, so I can shut up. But if I were, I don't know if I would have done that. But thankfully, there are other creators who have other ideas and other plans and other ways of creating, and that's what gives us the wealth of the workshop. We have a wealth of maps. It's amazing. Good and not so good. Been keeping up with the top 100. Heading up towards the 50s now. Heading up towards it. You'll definitely want to be there, because the maps are just going to get better. They're just going to get better and better and better. This week we do have one that isn't in the top 100, a replacement map, because there are a couple of creators who have not given permission for me to use their maps. So it's not even a question of giving permission. They've said not to. So I honour that. Even though being one of the top 100 maps of all time is surely something you want to scream about. But yeah, I honour. I respect. I do respect them. They're great creators. But yeah, so there's one this week where we'll be having a look at an all-star map instead. I'll still be saying what the map was that made the top 100, so you can still go and download it and play it and whatever. But yeah, as I can't show it, I'll show an all-star map instead. It's an old star map, an old all-star map from way back. So wouldn't get all-star ratings now, but back then it was a real standout map. So good. Still one of my favourites. Anyway, so this was not the start square, but would be the start square. This is where the camera loads in. So I imagine that would have been meant to be in the start square. The highways, I'm going to go a little bit higher now, so we're not crawling around the map stupidly slow, because we've got a feel for it now. And again, traffic is set on the right, but it's a Japanese inspired map, so you'd probably want the traffic running along the left. Not that it makes any difference to gameplay really, because you know, if you're going to use this map, you could play it as an American style build or an Australian style build, which would require left-hand traffic, of course. That was a bad choice of location, BonBon. Well done. How about a German there? This could be part of Germany. Actually, I can imagine this as being off the coast of Sweden. It's a Swedish island. There we are. That's what I'm selling this as. Okay, now off to the Bat Island. A little bit of rock work around here. Do you know what? I like that. We have a little bit of the trees growing through the rock. The thing with this tree growing through the rock, because you can't actually see the root, that is plausibly just foliage on the rock. I can believe that. I can't. Well, actually, this tree's dead. So I can believe that. Dead tree growing out the top of a rock. So I'm going to give benefit of the doubt to both of those trees. Yeah, these, again, a little bit of foliage like that clipping through. That's fine. Fresh, lush tree growing out the top of a rock like that. That's for me, that's the biggest fail of that area. If we're going to get grumpy about pathetic detailing, it's pathetic. BonBon, leave the creators alone. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. When I say pathetic detail, I'm not talking about my opinion on the detailing is pathetic, not the actual quality of the detailing is pathetic. The quality of detailing is good, because we're talking about top detailers here, not top creators here. So yeah, I'm not calling Palm's Time pathetic. I'm calling my standards snobbish. There we go. Snobbish standards. Seen too many maps. It's my problem. And we head on over this way. Bit of game lag. Sorry about that. Hi Parker. How you doing? Little island there. Oh, that's a good little shaped island. BonBonB. So yeah, now if we're talking the fields, because I think if we're looking at this going, right, what's interesting about the map? The highway layout is accommodating for a decent sized build. I would say that. We have rail. We haven't looked at the rail. Come on, BonBon. Step it up. Step it up. The rail's going to be fine, isn't it? But let's follow it anyway. We've got a few minutes. We do have another map to come in about an hour. For those of you that like to see the second review, but think it's exclusive, it's not. It's not. But it isn't promoted on YouTube. You'll need to head on over to patreon.com/BonBonB and just keep refreshing the page, and it will give you the link once I go live. So you can also watch all the old lives as well with the links over on patreon.com/BonBonB. You don't need to sign up. Well, I think you might need a Patreon account to see the page, but they're free. You don't need to be a supporter. That's what I'm saying. You don't need to be a supporter. If you want to be a supporter, thank you. If you don't want to be a supporter, it's okay. I understand. I do. I truly do understand. Anyway, so that's your rail. But yeah, I think the most interesting things with this map are the field painting, which again doesn't feel Japanese to me. Japanese fields, I think, tend to be longer and more what's it called, geometric. These are almost European style, so it could be like a Swedish island, maybe, or even the UK. This does feel very UK. I mean, how many times have I been to Japan? I can count that on no hands. So again, I could be talking absolutely out my flute right now, but it's irrelevant, because does it look good? I think it looks good. And the other thing of great interest is this, I'm going to call it an island over here. We have the hill running down the middle, which is accessible but not easy. So we have areas that we can build up and into, and then you just get areas that you go, well, you can't. Yeah, and I love that, because it makes you think, how can you use the space? How can you work into those hills? Thank you, motorbike. So that's always a winner for me. And yeah, the other big thought point. Oh, the rivers. There we go. If you have a look at this, that's water rendering. That's fine. How's this river flow? For me, looking at the shape of it, it's supposed to be flowing down this way. We've got divergence there, and then this. So I reckon this is the sea, which makes sense, because we do have the potential harbour area over there as well. But it just feels a bit of an odd dynamic on the rivers. A little bit odd, not awful, just odd. And then, of course, we have that elevated freeway going over the river, the length of the confluence there. Which, again, I find... I mean, it's well done. It's not something I would do. I look at that and I find that visually odd. But, aesthetically, it does follow the curve of the river very nicely. So, is it wrong? No, it's not wrong at all. Okay, I'm liking this. Okay, let me settle the camera down. I'll have a little look in the chat in a second. I see there's a little bit of chat going on down there. I'll park that right there. Speaking of Parker in the chat. Oh, hang on a second. Let me get some of this not quite scalding hot coffee in me now. Long and stressful weekend. Yeah. It's been a public holiday weekend over here. Some guy got a new hat, and we watched him in our millions put it on. I haven't seen you play Zomboid in a while. No, ZonBonE is alive, live and well, and at the time of the stream, I'm not saying, I don't want to give too much away because I do obviously have a few episodes in the bank. I don't want to say, but he's going to die in a minute. But certainly, if you check out the live streams, you will see BonBonE still plugging along, getting the kill count up, leveling up, skills are going up as well. He did nearly die though. There was an incident with a scratch on the neck which almost took him out. But, hi AJ. Do I remember you? I remember you from last week when you said, do I remember you? It's AJ. Yeah, long bridges over water are very common in Japan. Yeah, I agree. I did mention that on the flyover, that if this was urbanized, obviously it's a map build, so duh. But if this was urbanized, I would imagine, well, where else are you going to put the freeway? But as it's countrified, would they plan that in advance? I don't know. I would say no, personally. But doesn't matter what I think. Palms Time's idea of a map, and it's very nice. So yeah, anyway. So BonBonE or ZonBonE is still alive. And do check it out. You know, head on over to BonBonB 2 second channel, and there's plenty of episodes over there with him still trying to clear the last part of Moldral. He's going to do it. He's going to do it, or he's going to die, or he's already dead, or he's still alive. Don't give it away. Anyway, what do I think of this map? Aesthetically, I really want to love this, and I don't. And I don't know what it is. Whether it's well, it's a combination of a few things. Hang on, let me pull the camera up again. The simplified design. I mean, it's fine. It's absolutely fine in terms of something to build on. And you have a good time on them. And it's all the gameplay bits are in, so that's. But it's a simplified design. I don't know. Again, if you use the correct render it settings, but of course, over on the workshop page, there's relight settings and daylight classic settings and all these things which have been superseded by render it. I don't know how many of those I should have used. I haven't switched the cube map, the clouds, so maybe that would have made things just a little bit better. But what I'm seeing here is it's okay. It's fine. It's almost, I'm going to say it's almost pleasing. It doesn't have to be pleasing to be an aesthetically brilliant map. You can have a really displeasing map that is aesthetically brilliant. For example, a canyon map. You know, you look at it and you go, oh my god, there's a big crater through the middle of my map. But it can look stunning. So you can have displeasing maps. that's it's just, I don't know, it just feels a bit meh, just a bit. Doesn't feel Japanese, and I don't know, just for me it's a fairly generic map. I have no problems with it. Sand painting, I did mention sand painting is fine. A bit of underwater rock detailing as well. I mean, I appreciate the efforts that have gone to, but I'm not blown away. I can't go for a 4th star. I go for a medium high 3. This is not unpleasant. I'm not dissing the map. I'm not hating the map. I'm just trying to find a reason to want to give it a 4th star, and I'm not finding it. Detailing. The detailing works okay, actually. There's plenty of good stuff going on. There's no serious flaws. I mean, we have got 1 or 2 trees growing out of rocks. That's the biggest thing that I saw on the flyover. I didn't see any problems anywhere else. There's nothing that's nibbling away like half a star from the detailing score, which is good news, because it leaves me actually seriously considering the 4th star. Can I give the 4th star? I think I can, but right at the bottom. There's nothing here that makes me want to scream and shout and say, hey, you've got to see all of this. There's nothing here that does that. But if you copy these standards in your own map, you're gonna have good standards. So I'm gonna say bottom end of 4 stars. You can learn from this map, definitely. Gameplay potential. It's playable. It's not one for the 9 tile players because, well, there is no first tile. All the tiles are unlocked, which I mean, I like and I don't like. At the end of the day, you can have the 81 tile mod and unlock everything if you want to anyway. And I like the idea that 9 tile players can come in and have to play the vanilla experience. And this does feel like a map that can be a vanilla experience map. That said, it's got a good layout. It's got an interesting structure. The hills and the rivers break things up nicely. It's almost got a if I said something like a GTA 4 Tokyo vibe to it. So if Rockstar had done a Japanese inspired Grand Theft Auto game, maybe this would be that sort of map from the Grand Theft Auto 4 era. Possibly. Yeah, I'm not, I don't know, I can't, can I go 4 stars? I want to go 4 stars, but there is no start square intersection. There's no water flow in what would be the start square, although that's not broken up. I'm trying to justify a 4th star, as I like marking maps up. The fields are kind of small and are no good for the resource gameplay. So, yeah, if you imagine that's your oil. Well, I am thinking that's oil. Is that oil? Could be. Maybe that's ore. If that's oil and that's ore, then yeah, you're not really getting big industry. Okay, a medium high 3, roughly the same score as for aesthetics. It's solid, but it's not one I'm going to lose sleep over needing to play. But somebody will have a good time on this. So there we go. Naha. What's the name of this map? Hang on. Where's my notes? Right, Naha, Okinawa, Japan, map by Palm's Time. 343. Can't do the seal of approval, but there's nothing wrong with it. Somebody's going to have a good time on it, and I'm sure Palm's Time will have a good time on it. Coming up in a little while, we will have Almost Dry Flatland by Hook Tour. That looks very dramatic, so join me for that one. Again, just keep refreshing the page over on patreon.com/BonBonB for the link, and come join me then. it'll be within the hour, I would say. Anyway, thanks a lot, everybody. Anybody got anything in the chat? Doesn't look like there's anything in the chat. So at that point, I'll say thanks for watching, for commenting, for liking, and for subscribing, for joining me for another What Map Live. Again, I'll be back very soon. We'll have another Top 100 map tomorrow morning as well, so don't miss that one. And getting excited for this week's City Skylines 2 o'clock. I've been BonBonB. You've been very, very welcome, and I'll see you again very, very soon. Thanks for watching.
Come here now, girl.